Welcome to the Home Team Sacramento podcast. I'm Josh Takimoto, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about influence. As coaches and athletes, we have so much influence on the world around us, whether we're on campus, whether we're in our communities, whether with our families, even within our jobs. We have so much influence because of all of these life skills that we learned through sports, right? We always talk about it: work ethic, discipline, mental toughness, the ability to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. All of these different things, kind of leadership, right? Like all of these different things help us build up this influence that we have on the world around us. We talk about it all the time, but I really believe it's true that student athletes have so much influence on their campuses because, whether you believe it or not, I really believe that the way athletes do things, the way they carry themselves, the way they just kind of move throughout a campus because of what they do on the field, they have tend to have more influence on the school and the world around them. And we've seen it go both ways, right? You have some athletes that want to use that influence for good, and they really understand the responsibility that comes with it. And you also have athletes that choose to use that influence to get further in life for their own goals, for their own dreams. I mean, let's just call it what it is: selfishly. It's all looking internal. They want to use that influence to get as far as they possibly can, which is great. We want to use that influence to get where we're trying to go. But if you're doing it without helping people along the way, it's a huge missed opportunity when it comes to your influence as an athlete. And I feel like, me personally, I believe that every single athlete, every single coach should take the opportunity that they have with the influence that they have to make this world a better place. And that can take all shapes and forms. I'm not saying you have to go out and create a nonprofit. I'm not saying that you have to go put together this massive outreach event that helps the community. It could be something as simple as an act of kindness just as you're going throughout your day. Something that might take a couple of minutes out of your time just to help someone out. You don't even understand the impact that can have on that person's life. And maybe you felt led to do something bigger and greater. I mean, we talk about Coach Chris Horner all the time of Casa Roble High School, the football coach. He's constantly doing these huge things for the community and getting his programs involved. If that's what you want to do and that's in your skill set and you have the ability and the time to do it and you're surrounded by great people that can help you, go do that. Like, we need more of that. We need more of those examples in our communities. But again, we're not even talking about that. We're just saying, hey, use your influence as an athlete, as a student athlete, as a coach, to make the lives of the people around you better, even if it's just a kind word, even if it's just a smile, even if it's just a, hey, how's it going? It might even be, hey, you might buy, someone's Starbucks or their food in the fast food lane. You might even buy the food for the person behind you. Just those simple acts of kindness, even when we get no credit for it, we just walk away knowing that we've helped someone out and that we've used our influence for good rather than just this selfish inward desire. And I think that's really important. I think it's something that I believe every athlete, every coach should have on their mind, something they should be mindful of as they navigate through this life, because you've been given a platform, and I feel like you got to use it. I feel like you got to use it for good. You got to use it for something that's going to inspire others, not just inspire others to like, hey, this person was really kind to me. Like, it makes me feel good. Not just that, but like when you do something good, not that we do it for praise or attention or anything like that, but if people see you doing something good, it's hopefully going to inspire them to do something good as well. And then it becomes this trickle effect, and this becomes this contagious spreading of positivity, which I think is huge. And it's something that we desperately need right now in this culture, in this world. Like, we need more positivity because we're surrounded by so much negative all the time, that any amount of hope and positive energy that we can bring to the table is huge. I don't care if you're an athlete that has D1 hopes, or if you're a bench warmer like myself. When I was in high school, my junior and senior year, I didn't play that much. But looking back, probably around my senior year, I realized that I still had influence on some of the people around me because even just me wearing the baseball hoodie or the baseball jacket, I was still seen as an athlete. I was still known as an athlete, even if I wasn't a star athlete. That still holds weight. That title of athlete holds weight in your communities and on your campuses. And like I said, if you can inspire someone to do good, then it just continues to spread. And there's actually this story that I heard back in the day. It was Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. I'm sure most of you have heard of him, Eric Thomas. He was talking about this. Excuse me. He was talking about this lady, and this was a story that he had heard. This lady was sitting on a bench at this park, and this uh, homeless individual was walking past her. And as she walked past, or as he walked past, this woman saw him, and she said, "Excuse me, young man, hold on 1 second." And so he stopped and he kind of looked around, and he approached the lady, and she reached into her purse and she grabbed out this massive diamond. Now, this dude didn't know anything about diamonds or jewelry or anything like that, but he could tell just by the look of it, this was incredibly expensive and incredibly valuable. And she said, "I want you to have this." She's like, "You can go sell it. It's worth a lot of money." But she's like, "I want you to have this because I believe that you need this." And this guy was just overwhelmed. He wasn't even really sure what to say. He's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Are you sure?" And she said, "Yes, absolutely. It's yours. Take it." And again, just overwhelmed with joy and surprise, this man starts walking away. And he's just thinking about all of these different things about how this can completely change his life. He can go sell it, get him back up on his feet, all these different things. And he's only about 50 feet away. And all of a sudden he stops. And this light bulb goes off in his head. And he turns around and he goes back to the woman that's sitting on the bench. And he goes up to her and he says, "Excuse me, ma'am, I wanted to ask you something." And she said, "Okay, sure. What is it?" He said, "Well, first of all, I want to give you this diamond back to you because there's something else that I want from you." And now she's the one that's shocked because she's listening to this man and she's looking at him and he's holding the diamond, giving it back to her. And she knows the value of this. And she said, I don't know what else you could possibly want." She said, "This is the most valuable thing I have with me right now. What is it that you could possibly want from me?" And he said, "I actually want to know, what is it that's inside of you that made you want to give this to me? What is it that inside of you that made you want to give this diamond to me?" See, at first he was hyped about the gift of the diamond. But just in those few moments as he was walking away, he realized that there was something even more valuable inside of her. You can call it her empathy, her compassion, her kindness, her selflessness, whatever you want to call it. But in that moment, he realized, man, there's something else that's even more valuable than this diamond. And it's that very thing that's inside of her that saw me as someone who needed help and was willing to act on that. See, even the person that you're giving the gift to, even the person that's on the receiving end of your empathy and your compassion and your kindness, it's contagious for them too. They may be in a low spot, but that one act of kindness might spark them to be kind and more kind and compassionate to the people around them. You just never know. You never know the words or the acts that you do that are going to have a major, major, major impact on someone's life. You just never know. And I'm surrounded by teachers. I'm surrounded by teachers. My other podcast co-host is a teacher. My wife is a teacher. My sister's a teacher. I have teachers all around me. And some of the stories I hear them tell about the students that they deal with and the challenges that students are currently going through and the challenges that teachers are going through and the whole craziness that happens on campuses. Teachers, schools desperately need your influence as student athletes and coaches. I believe that a lot of people in this world, so many people in this world want to do something good. They want to have a positive impact on the people around them. They want to be a light in the darkness, but some people just aren't sure how to do it. And they need someone to blaze the trail for them so that they know which direction to go. And I believe that student athletes, you guys are those trailblazers. I believe you guys are the leaders that so many schools and so many communities are waiting on to lead them in the right direction. They need people that have influence and platforms to use those things in a positive way to make the world around them better. Like, I believe that you guys as student athletes are meant to be in that position for that very reason. Like, it's awesome if we're winning state titles and championships and we're breaking records and we have winning records. All of that's great. We love doing that. We love competing. We love winning. We've never been shy about that. That's why we compete. That's why we play, because we love to win and we want to win and we should strive to win. But at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of life, if we're winning on the field while our classmates and the people in our community are losing off the field, then what's it all for? Does it really matter? There's a lot of people that are hurting. There's a lot of people that need hope. And if you have a platform, if you're an athlete, a student athlete leader, like we like to call them here, if you're a coach and you have a platform like that, man, I would challenge you. We've got to use those platforms to help improve the lives of the people around us. And like I said, I can't emphasize this enough. This is not like a call to action where I'm asking you guys to start a nonprofit or go out and do some massive, massive gesture. Sometimes the most powerful gesture, sometimes the most powerful moment in a person's life is the most simple act of kindness. Something you can do as you're going on throughout your day. Just being aware, being mindful. I remember years ago, Kevin used to say, walking with your antenna up, not having your face buried in your phone, trying to get from one place to the other, trying to hustle all the time and grind all the time. Be aware of the people around you. Be aware and look for opportunities to flex that influence that you have. Not because it's like, hey, look at me, look at how amazing I am, look at all the amazing things I do. If you're doing it for that reason, don't do it. Don't do it. You might help some people, but it's not coming from a genuine place. I'm talking to the people that want to make a genuine impact on their communities and on their schools, on their families. If you have that heart and that desire to do that, then I'm talking to you. We've got to, and I'm talking to myself too. We've got to do better when it comes to making our communities better and being a light in those dark moments. People are going through a lot of stuff right now. And if just that one act of kindness that comes from you has a potential to change their life or even just change their day for the better, I think we've got to do it. I think we've got to do it. And I know this is usually we try to tie this into competition somehow, or we try to tie this into something that helps on and off the field. I don't feel like it today. I just don't feel like it today. I feel like today there's just like I said, you hear these horrible stories about everything that people are going through, students are going through, the challenges that they're going through, and man, we like I just feel like we've got to do something as this home team of Sacramento. We've got to step it up. We've got to rise up, rise above, and really make an effort to impact the lives of the people around us. So that's all I've got today. That's all I've got. That's my rant for today. Um, as always, you guys can follow us at Home Team Sac on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Join our Facebook group for coaches. And as always, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or YouTube. And please, if you'd be so kind, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We would definitely appreciate that. Help us spread the word. Thank you to all you coaches and athletes out there who are competing at the highest level and also living at the highest level. We appreciate you. And we're just so thankful that you're a part of our home team. As always, uh, please, like I said, help spread the word and yeah, be on the lookout for more podcasts. Sometimes we try to do it every week. Every once in a while we miss one, but um, please tune in, please spread the word and help us just build up our home team and help us to keep this thing moving. So thank you guys so much. And we'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.